Right, what the devil are you? I'm going to do a bit of a DIY video today. It's the kind of thing I think about all the time. So since I moved into this house, there's been a terrible draft. I couldn't figure out what it was. And I've got one of the old, the real flame coal fires, but it's gas. Costs a fortune, doesn't it? Anyway, this morning I'm looking at it, I'm staring at it, thinking, I know where this draft's coming from. It's from the chimney, and it's got that such a good draw on it. It's pulling all the hot air straight out of the rooms and into the ether, as it were. So I'd love a coal fire or a stove, but they're messy, really messy, because I've had one before in my old house, and they're expensive, to run now. So I thought, how can I have a coal fire without having a coal fire? And it got me thinking. So anyway, I've pulled my fire to bits and I put some plastic on it, and I thought, I'll just see if that's where the draft's coming from. Anyway, I got a little joss stick thing, taped it all up, put it round, nothing. Before I put the tape on it and taped it up, it would go flying out. So that's what it is, isn't it? Anyway, I put my heating on this morning at 21 degrees for 40 minutes. And then when it finished, that was 2 hours ago, I'll show you. I've got a cheapy little thermometer here, but still 21 degrees after 2 hours. So that's what it is, isn't it? So I'm going to make a fire without having a fire, if you know what I mean. Bear with me. So I've pulled it all to bits. The wooden surround, I'm going to have to mess around with that and make it a little bit deeper, anyway, change the size. Very kindly, one of my friends who's a gas safe engineer, he's going to come in, decommission the fire. It won't take him long. So it's all nice and safe, gas safe, and everything's fine. I rip the gas fire out. I'm going to rip that surround out because I don't want that anymore, but I obviously want the wooden surround. And I'm going to do something a little bit different. So if you fancy having a look at what old Jeff gets up to when he's doing nothing and he's got his DIY head on, keep watching. Now, just as a little caveat, you might be thinking, well, why is he taking his gas fire out if it's, if it's heating and stuff? Well, the simple reason is that the central heating, when it's on, is more than enough. It's more than enough to heat the whole house. And I just never use the gas fire, never use it. It's just there and it looks pretty and it's all right. And occasionally if it goes on, which is very, very rare, it looks nice. But now I've found the draft and I've stopped the draft, I really won't need it anymore. So it's surplus to requirements, isn't it? So as you can see, I've made a bit of a mess on my carpet, but that's easy cleaned. I've got some of the fake brick backboards. I've made that frame this morning, and then that will obviously eventually go into this old frame again. And this wood will eventually get it'll get spray painted like a metallic black, or as near to metallic black as I can get it. And that's where the fake fire is going to go. Nearly there. So I bought this old, well, it's not old, it's this 24-inch smart TV. And as you can see, you can just put your YouTube videos on. It's like a real fire effect. Miles better than them crappy electric ones. Miles better. Obviously, there's a lot of reflection on it at the minute because it's facing up at the ceiling. But when that goes into the fireplace, it should be all right. Now, I would show you, but all the silicone's a bit wet, and I don't want to touch that because it's perfectly placed. So, yeah, when that goes into there, I can use the remote controls. I can use the you know, she who must not be named, because it'll go off, you know, beginning with A and ending in S. And so yeah, and obviously I've got these little little what they call them, like door studs, and they'll be painted black. And when it's all done, obviously got to finish it off. Put some cork in the decorator's cork in the gaps and everything, just to finish it off. And but we'll get there. We'll get there. So I just need to do the finishing touches with the wood, but it's a little bit damp, so I'm waiting for it to dry out. But you get the general idea. How can you have a fire without running a fire? And the expense? Use a telly. Yeah, relatively easy build with a few DIY skills and a couple of power tools. 38 quid for the brick background, and then sleepers was 62 quid. Telly was about 120. A few bits and bobs and some wood that I had lying around. So yeah, 200 quid. Cheap really, isn't it? But it looks well, so